So now we have got our notes organized with no more than one topic per page, although we may have more than one page per topic. We've got the topics listed at the top, we've got the date, we've got these two other sections. And what are we going to do with them? The bottom one is the easiest one to fill out. Here, you write a summary in a sentence or two about what you find up in this category. So when you're doing your full year's review, you don't have to read every word of all the notes. You're reading your summaries. And then, if you're a little flaky on it, you know you don't remember it as well, your summary wasn't as clear in retrospect as it seemed to be the day you wrote it, then you go back to the notes for the details. But you'll have this summary here. So if your summaries are clear and complete, then you can study from your summaries and get a lot of the job done without having to read every word on hundreds and hundreds of pages of notes. Hundreds may be exaggerating, honestly, as you get further and further in school. It may not. I have had one semester courses that filled and overfilled a 300-page coiled notebook. It's also when I learned that these techniques are best done with paper in a binder, more so than with a coiled notebook. This section here is for questions. So as you think of questions while you're working through the content, you put them in this space. And you line them up, so you may have gaps between your questions. You may have one here, you may have one here. But these are questions that you either need to go back to your teacher and get further clarification on, or questions that you anticipate might be asked on the tests. So when you study, you do it in 3 steps. Step 1 when you're studying is to read your summary. Step 2 is to come back to your questions and see which ones you can answer. Step 3 is to read the notes, confirm your answers are the correct ones, and see if you've generated any questions that you can think of now that were missing beforehand. You can keep going through this 3-step cycle on each page until you're comfortable and confident moving forward. And step 3, you can do a lot of skimming. But these are the key steps, and this is how Cornell helps you study. Now tomorrow, when we deal with SQ3R, we will find the more effective ways to fill out this list of questions. This is getting to the point where it might be worthwhile when you're applying both, at least I found it was, to take your notes in class on paper, but then type them later. Going through them again helps you remember them, but then it's easier to organize it in one of the many free Cornell note-taking methods, templates that you find online, and that can help you keep your questions aligned with the answers, as well as aligned with the summaries. Plus, a big part of this is making sure your notes are searchable so you can easily find what you're looking for, and that's just much, much easier in digital format than in paper. But this wraps up the overview of the Cornell note-taking method.